Merhotep Sobekotep, also known as Sobekotep V or Sobekotep VI in older studies, was an Egyptian king of the late 13th dynasty during the Second Intermediate Period. Merhotep Sobekotep is mainly attested in Upper Egypt. Items can be separated between Merhotep, Merhotep Ini, and Merhotep Sobekotep. There can be slight differences how they spell the name Merhotep. Merhotep Ini and his predecessor Marnefere I can be associated with Memphis-Fayum region, while Merhotep Sobekotep seems more related to the Tibet region. There is a seated statue of the king bearing his cartouche, now located in the Cairo Museum. From Karnak, a striding statue of Sobekotep V Merhotep. At Abydos, a stela mentions the prenomen Merhotep, writing in the same way as Merhotep Sobekotep. At Thebes, the juridical stela is dated to year 1 of Nebiriau and mentions a decree issued in year 1 of Merhotep. The stela have often been associated with Merhotep Ini, but Merhotep Sobekotep is more likely. The Karnak king list, dating to the time of Thutmose III, mentions Merhotep. The entry can belong to either Merhotep Ini or Merhotep Sobekotep, but the way Merhotep is spelled suggests Merhotep Sobekotep. In addition, the rulers next to him support an earlier date. The Turin king list, a king list redacted in the early Ramesside period, does not preserve the name of Merhotep Sobekotep. Kim Reihold suggests Merhotep Sobekotep is missing from the list because he was listed in the line below that of Sobekotep IV, a line lost in a lacuna of the papyrus. While Frank and von Beckerath identified Merhotep Sobekotep with Merhotep Ini on the basis that they had the same prenomen, Reihold showed in 1997 that he was listed on the lacuna below Sobekotep IV. Furthermore, Reihold points to the many rulers of the period who shared prenomen and yet were not the same person. Reihold thus sees him as a separate ruler from Merhotep Ini and credits him a reign of approximately 3 years. Merhotep Sobekotep's position following the reign of Sobekotep IV is strongly suggested by the fact that 5 13th dynasty pharaohs are attested by genealogical seals which mention their parents. 4 of these pharaohs are known to have been Sobekotep III, Neferhotep I, and his 2 brothers, Sihator and Sobekotep IV. But 2 genealogical seals bear name of the ruler's mother as the king's mother, Nuphotepti, and the king as Sobekhotep. However, Sobekotep III's mother was Jebetibeu, whereas Neferhotep I, Sihator, and Sobekotep IV were the sons of the king's mother, Kemi. This means that there was a different king named Sobekotep who used genealogical seals in his lifetime. Reihold notes, furthermore, that during the 13th dynasty, royal genealogical seals were in use only during the period of the 4 identified kings, which succeeded each other on the throne: Sobekotep III, Neferhotep I, Sihator, Sobekotep IV. Since during the 30-plus years that followed in the reigns, no genealogical seals are attested for these 3 further kings, it is safe to assume that it had thus positively gone out of use by their reigns. The 30-year gap also excludes the reigns of other intervening kings from the death of Sobekotep IV and the accession of Merkavre Sobekotep such as Sevachkare Hori, who ruled Egypt for 5 years as per the Turin king list. Therefore, King Merhotep Sobekotep, who is also attested by a statue from the Cairo Museum, would be the only candidate remaining to be the immediate successor of Sobekotep IV and predecessor of Kahotep Sobekotep. Merhotep Sobekotep employed genealogical seals, and his name was lost in a lacuna at the bottom of a column of the Turin canon.